Good evening, everyone. I'm going to give a few minutes here for people to flip over to the live channel um, that I had to switch here at the last minute. I certainly apologize, but if you don't mind, we'll just wait a few minutes and allow everyone to get situated. And so if you get a couple minutes and I'll get started. All right, I'm going to get the meeting started here. I want to welcome all of our freshman parents, and I'm sure some will add on here. We have a couple hundred on tonight. Just so you know, too, this meeting is recorded. So I will take this meeting and email it to the teachers once the recording gets done. I'll make that accessible somehow, whether email or on the website. I'll let you know that. Want to welcome everyone. My name is Mike Oldring. I probably met many of you in January at the curriculum night. And just introduce myself a little bit. I've been the principal here. This is my 12th year. It's my 28th year in the building. I have a junior at Ohio State. I have a senior here at Kaufman. Like you, I have a freshman at Kaufman High School. And then I have an 8th grader. So I will say this about myself and our administrative staff. We all have kids in the building attending Kaufman High School at least this year. And so we have a vested interest in the success of Kaufman High School, making it the best place for children to learn. So if nothing else, you could take that to know that we do care about this school and our staff and our children, and we want to make this the best school in the world. But as we look at coming on this year, obviously this is not the freshman parent meeting that I envisioned when I talked with most of you in January at curriculum night. I much prefer to be in the theater with all of you in person and be able to talk to you and meet you face to face. So I apologize for that, but this is the best we could do. So I'm going to do my best to share some things with you about Kaufman High School, especially for those new freshmen that are the first of your family to enter Kaufman High School. We are planning on August 20th to have freshman orientation. Obviously, this is going to be virtual, but we have a group of folks who work with our freshmen, including myself, and we're going to try to put something together for the freshmen to help them next week. So that is forthcoming. Your freshmen will be notified through their email. I will say it's really important, the way we are conducting business these days, for your students to check their school email, because that is a resource, that is a communication tool that we use, and that's going to be important. I know they don't enjoy email, but that's how we do that. So that would be very helpful. I will do my best to keep in touch with you through email as well. We are also planning on having an open house. That was originally scheduled for the 26th. Not certain that's going to stay that date. It could change. We are planning something, and it will be virtual as well. But I think we have some really great ideas with some technology that parents would enjoy, getting to meet the teachers of their children. So we're going to do our best to do that. So just to put that out there. Typically, freshman orientation, I spend time talking about Kaufman High School, different aspects of Kaufman. Usually I would have met with your freshmen all day today and then meet with you tonight. Obviously, that's not the case. So you really don't have any feedback from your freshmen regarding the day. I will tell you a little bit about Kaufman anyway, and that is about we kind of have a thing here that we've used for years and years. It's kind of our mantra, the 3 A's: academic rigor, authentic community, and appreciation of history. We still focus on those 3 things. They change in how we focus on those, but those never really change. But I think this year is going to be a really big focus on authentic community, because kids are going to need us, parents are going to need us, and we need to do our best to create some community in this virtual hybrid world that we're about to embark on for the first time. We do have a freshman house system. So it's not unlike middle school. We're able to put something together for the high schools. The great thing we had been planning, and we still are this year, is freshman study halls. And your freshman should be in a study hall with a freshman teacher. And that's really to get some academic support, but also some community support and other things, general support. Hopefully they're in a freshman study hall where they have that teacher. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. We are working on virtual labs, content labs, which these teachers could be a part of as well. So we're doing our best to stay connected and keep the kids connected and keep support. I know that's a big worry. As I said, I have a freshman coming in, and it's a big worry of mine, especially at a freshman age, to make sure they feel supported and they're learning and when they have struggles, that they're getting that support and able to have that. So I know that's a big thing, and we are trying very hard to create supports for our kids in this virtual world. So it's definitely important to have resources for children. I will say this, I might have said this at the curriculum night. Your number one resource, your child's number one resource is always going to be the teacher, whether we're hybrid, whether we're fully back, or whether we're fully remote. That is the number one place to go. They are our best problem solvers. They do an amazing job working with children individually, creating learning environments, and we don't have all of this figured out to the detail, but I do have a lot of faith in our teachers that are going to be creative in finding ways to reach children, to give them opportunities, give them extra opportunities, give them individualized instruction at times. So that is number one. Each child has a guidance counselor. You can go on our website to see it's done alphabetically. It should be on your child's schedule when they receive that, which the last message I received was the 18th, which is Tuesday, that those will be emailed. There'll be an email and then available on Schoology as well. But that's another important reason for students to be checking their school email. I see some things here in the chat box. I'm going to go through a few things, and then I am definitely going to try to hit some of these questions. If I can answer them, I'll do it right here. If I can't, I will do my best to find the answers. I think there are still questions out there that there are not great answers to, because in all honesty, I mean, there's things we don't know yet, and we're going to work through them and problem solve as it happens. There's definitely nothing we've ever done before. So we can't say we know how everything is going to work. We can certainly plan and do our best to put the best plan in place and anticipate, but we're going to have to be flexible. We're all going to have to be flexible when it comes to this situation. So guidance counselors, and of course administration. We are accessible, obviously, through email. Everyone is accessible, but I will tell you the best start is through the teacher, and kind of work through there. And I know our staff appreciates the opportunity to work with each child who may be struggling and help them and provide supports for them if that's what's necessary. So I'll move on to another topic I talk about, and that is involvement in the school. And I spend a lot of time on that. I think it's very important for students to be engaged with their school, whatever club, organization, sport, whatever it might be. I think it's really important. We have a lot. We have a lot of opportunities. Now, it's different this year. It is completely different. Many of your children at the freshman level here are probably involved in the band. And Mr. Bradstreet and his staff have been doing an amazing job getting kids out, being safe, doing the best they can. But obviously, the marching band is going to be different this year. They're going to have different goals. So but it is an organization of the school, and that is a way to link your child to the school and engage them and be a part of the school. That's what we appreciate. That's what we love. We have so many clubs and organizations. We are still working through some of those to see how they're going to operate. Certain clubs are going to be, there's going to be a lot of virtual stuff, a lot of things through online meetings and so forth. That's just the way it's going to be for a little bit. But I know our advisors and our students do not want to stop. They don't want that to end. We will have some of that information for your children at the freshman orientation for the students. So I look forward to that and working with the kids and providing those outlets and engaging opportunities for students. I think I hit the email with you already as well. That's my number one communication tool with you. I try to get emails out on Friday just to sum up the week or what we're looking forward to and so forth. So that should be interesting this year as each week goes. With that said, it's been focused on you as freshmen, but I want to spend a little bit of time on the schedule and what to expect. So we had staff in, some of my department chairs in today. We went through a lot of this stuff, but on day one, students will be logging on. So because we'll be in the full 100% remote, all students will be remote. We will be logging in to synchronous. That's the terminology, synchronous, asynchronous. So synchronous means there's a bell schedule, just like you were in school, and students through Schoology are going to log into their classes. So on day one, we will do periods 1 through 4. You can find all of this stuff on the district website if you haven't seen it already, but it's called synchronous. So periods 1 through 4, students will be just like they're in class, periods 1 through 4. And then periods 5 through 7 that day, they will be asynchronous. So they will not be in class, although they may have work to do. They'll need to check into their 5th, 6th, and 7th period. I'm certain there'll be things in Schoology for our freshmen, sophomores, and junior seniors to just look at and prepare for the next day. Obviously, that being the first day, our teachers will get with them on Tuesday of that week and be face-to-face with them virtually and work with them. So the idea of all of this, so let me just say this. All students are on the same schedule while we're on 100% remote. If we're not in the hybrid or fully back at school, everyone's on the same schedule. There's no delineation of alphabet. It's really just which periods A day, B day are meeting that day. So synchronously. And then, so the idea and the message to our staff, and which we are working on and will continue working on for the next week, is providing learning opportunities 5 days a week for all students, knowing that every other day essentially is asynchronous for half of your kids. So if you look at that schedule closely, Wednesdays could be synchronous, could be asynchronous. I know it's confusing, and it's confusing for us, but our kids are going to be really good at this eventually, and they're going to understand it. But my first period English teacher may say, I'm going to meet with you first period for 10 minutes. We're going to do something real quick or whatever. Or I want to schedule a little bit of time with this group of students first period. Or they may say, okay, we've met Monday and Tuesday. Here's what you're working on Wednesday. I will be in the classroom. You can call in to get individual help. I'll work with you, or I may ask you to come in because I could tell through our work that you may need some extra help. So that's how those Wednesdays are. That's a communication with the teachers and the students. But potentially could meet 7 periods that day for a brief amount of time, or whatever special might be going on, or they may not meet they may not need to meet with their teachers based on how they're doing, what their work is, what their assignment is, and so forth. So that's for the first 2 weeks, we're going to be in that model. Now, everything's subject to change, but the plan right now is after Labor Day, we will start the hybrid model. And that's where the big changes come for the high school. Before I get into hybrid, just so you understand this part, if we were fully in school, let's just take a math teacher has 5 classes, 135 children, 140 children. They would have them in 5 different classes. The way to look at this for our teachers is it's no different. You still have those 135, 145 kids. You still have the same kids. We're not moving anybody out, but the way you interact with them, the way you provide the instruction is different. So some of them in hybrid you may meet with twice a week. Some of them you may meet with once a week. And I know when you say that's the structure, I just want everybody to know this is the structure of the hybrid. That doesn't mean a teacher can't work with a child outside of that time and on a different day. And those things will develop as the plan moves on. Again, so I've heard from both, right? I've heard the concerns of both. Well, it was supposed to be 3 days or 2.5 days a week, every other Wednesday for hybrid kids coming to school. Now it's only 2. And then from the remote, who at one point when the district was talking about remote learning, that potentially there would be teachers every day working with their children. I don't want to say they won't be working with their children every day, because they're planning instruction and learning opportunities for your children every day. There potentially could be an opportunity to meet, if you're a remote learning child, to meet with your teacher on Monday, depending on the schedule and what they may have set up. And again, all of that is going to develop as we go on. So to say we know exactly how this is going to work and we're experts at this, and it would be wrong for us to do that. But to say we're doing the best we can with the staffing that we have and the situation we're in our community and our society and our country, with the governor and the health department, we're doing the best that we can. And I feel, and again, I'm just going to say this based on my own experience. I've had a graduate, I have a senior, I have a freshman. Am I worried as a parent? Yes, I'm worried for we're always worried about our children. But am I worried that they're not going to learn and get an education at Kaufman High School? No, I'm not, because I know this staff and I know what they're going to do. Are there going to be struggles? Are there going to be things that aren't perfect and they have to be fixed and they have to work through? Yes, there's going to be struggles. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be things we find out that don't work, and then we find a way to make it work. I have complete faith in this staff to be able to do that. So it's hard for me to convey that to you like I would like to, but I do feel good about it. Do I wish this wasn't here and we were all in school every day? Yes. Do I think there's more opportunities? Yes, of course. That's what we were built for. That's what we're best at. That's what we've trained all of our years to do. But I do believe we're going to be able to make a difference in kids' lives and learn and do great things. But it isn't going to be perfect when we start. And we're going to work through a lot of things as we go. I think the important part of that is, and I've talked to our staff about this and our administrative staff, like, we have to support each other. And if things aren't working, we need to know, and the teacher needs to know, and in a way that our our teachers or staff or myself, we're not looking to make it difficult. We're looking to find ways to make it work. So together we can do that in a positive way, hopefully in a supportive way, because again, it's not going to be perfect, but we've got to problem solve together, and I have a lot of faith in our staff that we're capable of problem solving. So I hope that message comes across the way I feel about it. Again, student schedules will be out the 18th, and I'll have some meetings with freshmen virtually coming up. I do want to say this before we start on the 24th. I think the 24th is the first day of remote learning. Before we start, maybe this weekend, anytime soon, if you haven't, have your child open up that Chromebook, make sure it's working, make sure it's charged, and we're moving, because we'll have a process in place for technical support, but it would be much more convenient if your child had that thing up and going and ready to go. So it would be very helpful. And next week, the schedules are coming out. I'd have them using that new Chromebook and getting logged in. I think that's all I have at this point that I wanted to make sure I gave to you. So what I'm going to attempt to do is look at some of the chat, and if we do not get through all of this, I will definitely find a way to answer. Can all teachers use Screencastify similar to teach everyone at once in building online? If not, how will they teach Wednesday? So great question. I've had this conversation many times. Our teachers, I am sure we will have some type of video instruction at times versus live instruction. I think we will do it. We have a lot of tools, and we continue to learn about new tools every day to use to help students learn. So certainly that will be a part of it. Will it be every day? Probably not. Can that develop in certain classrooms more rapidly, or does it work better in certain classrooms for certain teachers? Yes. And then there's kind of another thing in there about Wednesdays, because of the way we're set up, right? If we were to say, hey, tomorrow we're coming back, what happens to the remote learning kids because they're to be taught on Wednesdays? I don't have an answer for that. I mean, if I looked at it right now without major shifts in schedule changing, our kids would be fully back 4 days a week, and we would focus on the Wednesdays to be the remote learning, unless we change the structure of that. So that's the best I can answer that right now, as it is set up. Do we anticipate coming back full go? Probably not anytime soon. Looking at the state, I can't predict that. I'm not the person who does that. Superintendent's not the person who does that. Our governor, lieutenant governor, boards of health, and if you saw the last thing from the Board of Health, I think we're fortunate to be working towards a hybrid model, because they were discouraging it completely. So we can't say we don't anticipate coming back full, because we don't know. Maybe second semester is completely different. I don't know. So good question. Somebody said there's no audio. I hope that's not the case for the last however many minutes. I see that twice, and I am making a video. If anyone wants to put something in here that says we could hear you, because I saw that twice early on. Just want to make sure we're good. Will there be tutoring by subjects, either in person or online? Okay, good. I got some messages that audio is fine. I hope your audio is doing well. Yes, we are working on content labs and creating content labs for students. Absolutely. We are definitely working on that. And often we have math labs, we have different labs and content areas. So we're trying to develop that in a virtual setting for students. So potentially, if I'm not supposed to be in school that day, I could still go to a lab that's a virtual lab. So that's what we're working on. And again, that's in development. Awesome. Oh, my child forgot her Chromebook password. Oh, to log in with their, where can we find that? I don't know, Beth, but if you will just email me off to the side, I'll get that to somebody who can help you with that. So I can look at that tomorrow and get you set up. Oh, Amy Klein, there it is. Yes, Amy Klein, thank you. Amy Klein is our tech coach. And so I take that back, Beth. Email Amy and she will take care of you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Lawrenson, who is our assistant principal, one of our assistant principals put on here, and I should have mentioned this, the Makeup Chromebook Day is Monday from 9 a.m. to 11. If you did not pick it up, we had a ton do that. So that's amazing. Is there a certain amount of time to complete assignments, or can we still do it whenever? That's the synchronous, asynchronous piece, right? So there'll be deadlines for things and so forth, but will there be some time to do things with your teacher live? Yes, I'm assuming there will be. Will there be time for you to, hey, you have this to do at some point, and you're like, I'd rather go out for a run or go do this activity and come back and do it this evening because it's asynchronous? Yes, you would have the freedom to do that as long as it's finished when the teacher asks for it. Absolutely. Are the teachers going to be overloaded with these schedules? We want the best for them too. Thank you so much, Jenna. We do think about them a lot. We have amazing teachers, and I've worried about that a lot. I've spoken individually, and they're in the individuals I've spoken with, they feel really good. I mean, I'm gonna say, would everybody feel better if we were in class and doing the thing we do here? Yes, but they feel good about managing this the best that they can. But thank you so much. We will certainly keep a pulse on how our staff is doing. We had a discussion about morale today because, we want our teachers to be excited and enjoying what they're doing. And it's got to be fun for everybody. It's got to be fun for them, fun for the kids. It's got to be enjoyable. So thank you. And we definitely are working on that. Explain the houses. So let's just say Alyssa Ulring is going to be a freshman. She is going to go into a core, so math, science, social studies, and English. She's going to be in a core of teachers. And those 4 teachers are part of a house. So they have, say, 125 kids, 140 kids. And those kids are in their house. So those teachers can't have the ability to say, when they meet, they'll have time to get together at certain times and talk about the students and how are the students doing and how can we support them, because they all have students. Now, it's not perfect. Some students are out of the house because of a scheduling reason. Maybe your child is taking an advanced course. And, so for example, if you are taking honors algebra 2 or algebra 2 or above, those aren't house classes. Algebra 1 and geometry would be in the house. So we see that sometimes. Sometimes we see a student out for science, for advanced science, and that's okay too. But generally, they have the ability to see a child. And they might say, man, I've been noticing that Mike Ulring has been struggling. He seemed down today. I mean, did you guys notice that? And So, and then we have the ability to work with parents, and it just gives a little smaller. Helps us know the kids better and work with them individually more so. Prior to having a house system, which was a long time ago, I can tell you I was here, and it felt like forever to get to know the freshmen. And so slipping through the cracks, we're trying to avoid that and trying to help kids and get them engaged in the school and so forth. So I hope that helps with the house system. How will the new students get their homerooms numbers and their schedules? That will be on their email, on their schedule. That should come on their schedule, on their email. So they should have access. And then it'll be on Schoology as well. Their schedule will be in Schoology. Will there be houses for freshmen as you've done it? Yes. Yep. Do they meet in homeroom each day? We do. When we're in school, we typically have a homeroom. I am not sure how that's going to exactly work when we get back. Is there, oh shoot, I rolled through that. Apologize. Sorry. I think I answered the Chromebook. Is there a visual for everything that was said? Because I'm now more confused than ever. I'm so sorry. Yes, there are some visuals with the schedule. I do have slides. I could provide those. I'm not sure how much that'll help you, but I'll get those to the freshman parents and see if that helps. Can you still pick up Chromebooks? We hit that Monday. You could pick them up between 9 and 11. If the Chromebook is broken, there will be a process in place. I would say if it's your brand new Chromebook and it doesn't work, I would come back Monday between 9 and 11. Amy Klein is on this, and I hope she's okay with that. But I would just come back Monday if your new one didn't work. Hopefully those are in great shape, and I know my daughter is excited. It's a really nice one. When the day comes that the remote learning academy is no longer needed, will there be freshman mentors at that time to help students navigate the building? We're going to have freshman mentors, Jen. So yes, we will. I am sure that time comes. We'll do everything we can to help students navigate, give them time, put the freshman mentors in their bright yellow shirts, and match them up with students. So for sure, we will work on that. And we still have mentors, and we're trying to figure out how that's going to work even virtually. So. Can you explain why teachers can't just start at 7:55 teacher day in front of a camera while kids watch online and kids have class every day with them? First of all, having someone sit in front of a computer all day long, I don't know about you, but after a couple hours, I need a break, and I think they would too. But there are also some laws out there that protect students and teachers as well. And so to live stream really isn't much of an option as far as I know. So that's one reason. I'm sure there are others, but I'll stick with that for right now. I will say I know this is still being investigated, to do that, to be able to do that. But I don't believe that live streaming is something that is going to be common practice. So the follow up, I think, with that, but talking about if the good thing about this schedule, the way it is, so if I'm a hybrid student and I need to quarantine for 14 days, maybe someone in my house was tested positive, whatever the reasoning may be through the protocols, I still have the same teacher. I can work virtually with the teacher. The teacher will work with me and hey, I'm going to be gone for 14 days until I have no symptoms. I can come back. No problem. I'll see you on Wednesdays, whatever that might be, right? Because they're responsible for their 130 kids. So if 20 of them are remote learning academy, or if we need, 3 more need to be remote learning, we know that's going to happen throughout the school year. That's an easy transition. So actually this structure makes that a bit easier as well. Okay, thank you all for responding to that. Which days are we supposed to go to school physically if we did the hybrid model? There are A days and B days. So A days are A through K and B days are L through Z. I'll make sure you have all that as well, but the kids will too. So it's based on last name when they come to school when we get to the hybrid model. Remote studying start time is 7:55, periods 1 through 4. And then we go in the afternoon for periods 5 through 7. I will send that schedule out, just the exact schedule, so you have it digitally, virtually. The kids will have it as well. Again, it's only half a day that you will have to be there with your teachers in class on the computer. Are there plans for safe social events like drive-in movie or kayaking? We always have a drive-in movie at some point. So hopefully that's going to happen. I'm sure our students are planning to do some things. We just had a conversation about homecoming this year. I mean, it was awful last year at the end of the year when we lost all the senior events, and we're trying to think about the seniors now and their senior year starting and what that's going to be like all year. So we're going to do our best to create some events as we're allowed. So that will develop, but great ideas. And I know the kids want to do it, and I appreciate that. Kudos to the fall sports and the coaches and kids. And, it's not just fall. Everybody's been working. Coaches been working with kids. Our athletic director, Dwayne Sheldon, has been adamant with coaches and kids about making sure they're practicing the social distancing, the masking, everything to stay safe, not risking anything, and not doing anything we don't need to do to risk having to shut anyone down. So all of them together have been doing an amazing job, and so thank you for recognizing them. Keeps jumping on me. Okay. Are you going to send schedule in the email? They will come out from the district. I do not send schedules. That comes out. It's a process, and they're mass sent out. So students will receive their schedules. Assessments. Great question. Schoology has some great tools for assessments. I am sure we're going to do some in-person small assessments. And the goal is not to make your day in the building your test day. Will you have a test at some point on a day you're in the building? Potentially, yes. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but there are many, many ways to assess formatively. summatively, and we are getting better at that. So that's something we will be working on as well. Each class will be different on how they assess, depending on the class, depending on the teacher, and so forth. So let's see, Katie. Thank you, Amy, for helping her on the Chromebook. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Then let's see what's next here. The houses are just for the freshman class. It's just freshman year. It's a way to help acclimate students and get them acclimated for their freshman year. It doesn't go through sophomore, junior, senior year. So no, but good question. Synchronous, asynchronous is somewhat confusing. Will classes alternate between these two methods, or will some classes always be synchronous? They will alternate, Laura. They will definitely alternate. So some days you'll be in the class asynchronous, and some days or synchronously, and so, or at least in the classroom virtually asynchronously. And then some days you will be not meeting with the teacher. So you'll have work to be doing where you do it on your own. But periods 1 through 4 will meet one day. Periods 5 through 7 will meet another day when we're on the full remote. Let's see. When will we get our schedules? I think I hit that. That's coming out. Oh, yeah, 18th. Thank you. My son's excited about Chromebook. Can you please let us know how he will get his credentials to log into his Chromebook? I'm not sure if your child's new to Dublin. If that's the case, Amy is already, thank you, Amy. She's taking care of all the Chromebook login issues. So that's how awesome she is before I even get to it. And thank you. You guys are awesome. We do need to work together. Kids will be stuck online either way. Yeah. We are, Tracy, we are working on, there are a lot of subjects do have some workbooks. So we're trying to work on a process to get those workbooks and do that kind of thing. And get that to you. There will be a process in place where at some point we need to get all the textbooks back from last year from the underclassmen. We did not get those. So we're going to have to work on that. How do ESL students study? Our ESL teachers, aides, they will be able to provide instruction and supports. They will be in touch with you and how to work on that. I know it's difficult and very difficult. No great answer to that, but our staff is amazing. So, is it possible to change from hybrid to remote? It's possible. We've asked everyone to commit to a semester in this, but at the high school level, the ability to make that change because you have the same teachers is a little bit easier. There will be a process in place. Obviously, if you become ill and say you're hybrid and you need to go to remote, that's something we'll do together. And I mean, that just has to happen. There's no getting around that. So that will help to be in this mode, to be able to make those changes. We'll have a process in place, though. If let's say I've been in remote for, let's say we get into hybrid and you're in the remote academy, and a couple weeks in, it just doesn't seem to work, and you and your child feel good about coming back to school, feel safe, and want to do it, and we'd involve a counselor, work with you, and see if that's the best thing. And again, we're in this together, so we're going to try to make the experience best for everyone. No one asked to be in this situation, so we've got to be understanding. Will this be a video? Yep, this will be a video. I didn't apply online. What'll happen? I'm not sure, Taposhi. You will be in the hybrid if you didn't apply for the remote academy. You're just planned to be in the hybrid. And you should get a schedule on Tuesday. That'll indicate that to you. So should be set. I'm surprised that the athletics are planned while the school is remote, at least at the beginning. It's a concern for everyone. I can tell you I've been working very closely with the Ohio Capital Conference and the Ohio High School Athletic Association, along with the Lieutenant Governor, creating an environment. And again, our athletic director and coaches have done an amazing job to keep kids and, knock on wood, our kids have been healthy and things are going very well. So we're going to do our best to create, the benefits of students being engaged and involved in doing activities. It's very high. So we want to be able to provide it, and our families want it, and the kids want it. And so, we're working closely with the governor's lieutenant governor, and hopefully things continue to progress. Band staff, thank you so much for saying that, Marcia. They are awesome. Love them to death. Do you know when false? I just heard this evening that the governor is doing something on Tuesday. I think there'll be details of the plan on Tuesday. Right now, things are a go. They haven't stopped anything. So I think they will go there. Workbooks would be great. Yes, we're working on that. How we do? We are working on spacing, social distancing, just like we are in the classrooms. When we come back in a hybrid model to do lunches, we may be creative in where kids are eating lunch, but we're going to attempt to make a lot of changes to make that happen. So that's a great question. Will the semester year be also an A grade? No. We are planning on normal grading this year. That was a way to get through the end of the year, just such a quick thing, and we didn't want anyone to lose out on anything. So I think that was just a way to get through the year. This definitely, we will be going through. School pictures are to be announced. I'm working very closely with the photography company, and there's no rush, but we definitely want to get those done. So you're welcome. Listen, I have a meeting at 7 p.m. with the 10 through 12 parents. So I am going to wrap this up. Thank you, Rita. You're very, very nice. And I plan for this not to be the last time we meet. I will probably have more parent meetings in general, but I wanted you as freshman parents just to be with you, give you a little bit of time, ask your questions. And again, I just, we're all going to do the best we can. And I appreciate your support and the support of the teachers, because they want what's best for your children. We all want what's best for our children. And, that modeling these tough situations for our children, finding a way to persevere, finding a way to make it happen, and continue to work hard and be positive. Those are probably life lessons for our children that hopefully go far beyond what we teach them in the classroom this year. So, together, I think we can make a difference for all of our children, and that's our plan. We love it here, and we all do. And again, as I said at the beginning, we want to make this the best learning environment, regardless of what situation we're in. We want kids to feel safe, appreciated, and important, and that's our job, and we plan on doing that. So I will have an opportunity to get back with parents at some point, maybe next week. So as we work through with staff getting ready, but I want to say thank you to all of you for coming, and I apologize for messing up the live stream at the beginning. So you had to make a switch, but this is recorded. I will eventually send this out to everybody. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a great evening, and I look forward to the day we all get to see each other back at school. Thank you.